Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, fuck everybody, just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Hi, Bullhorn Betty. Thank you for my shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
I'm Bullhorn Betty, and this is the Bullhorn Betty channel, where we're taking a deep dive into Sebastian Rogers. We have been covering the case since the early part of March, prior to or the day of the interview of both mom and stepdad. What we learned was there were some questionable statements made. And then we started looking into the parents, which really ruffled the feathers of the mom, more importantly, the stepdad. He felt that if we just took all the drama out of this, there's nothing here to see except teenage boy that just simply ran away from home. That couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, this mom and stepfather has hired some of the most vile people to assist them in locating their son, from past felons that are currently committing crimes to questionable people with questionable pasts, such as substance abuse, where one of their searchers is seen in the woods utilizing substances through a straw and a dollar bill up that person's nostrils, inhaling whatever it was that he was doing. Then you have another content creator that is filthy, which again is just representation of the people that they hire to assist them. And then lastly, one of the main supporters of the mom and stepdad has now 2 new civil actions against her, one for child custody and another one for stalking her ex-pregnant girlfriend. So, and then after that, an incident report came about where she or her other daughter put bruises on her youngest daughter's throat. Again, this just kind of embodies the type of people that are representing Sebastian's mom and stepfather. While I never criticize anybody's past, because let's face it, we all have one. It's the difference between somebody that has overcome that and has redeemed themselves versus somebody that has continuously done this throughout the pattern of their story and is continuing to do it. No redemption, no remorse, just continuing the same bad behavior over and over again, expecting different results. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers deserves better than this. He deserves the right type of people searching for him and looking for him. There has been a lot of statements made from the mom and the stepfather, predominantly the stepfather, Chris Proudfoot. And I've got to say, the inconsistency, the anger, the vitriol, and the threats and intimidation that he has posed to just about anybody and everybody searching for his son, his stepson, has me very, very, very concerned, including my own arrest. For what? For doing my job and speaking out against him, as well as law enforcement in the area. This makes you take a back seat because you see parents that are spending more time trying to shut my mouth than they are searching for their own missing child that disappeared from their own home. Why? That is the question we should be all asking ourselves, is why. We're going to be going over this case a little more in depth. I hope you stay tuned. We have a lot to discuss and a new case to bring up. I thank you all for being here. I hope you take the time before we start to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please consider doing so. If you would like to help me with my legal expenses or just to support the efforts that we're doing, we have a variety of ways that you can contribute. From the GoFundMe to help me fight specifically with my legal expenses. We have Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. We have an Amazon wish list if you just want to give me a thank you item or buy something special for the long run. Again, this is truly a family, and we truly come together for the sake of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. And we're going to continue to fight for him. And we're going to continue to expose the mom and stepdad's weird behaviors and inconsistent statements. And we're going to expose those around them that are doing nefarious things to prevent the search for Sebastian being found. I hope you guys support all the creators that have come together to say no to this nonsense and to keep Sebastian first and foremost. God bless each and every one of you watching this, and have a great day. What we do know as fact, however, is that Seth has been searching for his son ever since his son disappeared. Seth has publicly taken a polygraph. He has publicly produced his work records. This man has done everything he could possibly do, including working with the FBI, working with me to advocate for his son, calling on the national media, getting Nick the Hat and Dog the Bounty Hunter, and we're here with what from the mom and stepfather? Nothing for almost 10 months. Shoddy searches at best, working with an unscrupulous PI, felons, and including one searcher utilizing substances, illicit substances, while searching for their son.
Wake up! It is time to get your butts ready for work. You guys are going to be sweating your stuff this morning. It is nice to see you, Melanie. Sonia, Criminal Theory in Action. It's nice to see you. Me and you. Tammy is up in the house. Good morning, Mary. It's nice to see you. Our beautiful groovy gal is up in the house. And I want to have a big shout out right now to our prayer gang out there. We've got a few prayers. Melanie is in need of prayers. I know Sonia is always in need of prayers. I'm in need of prayers. You know, we've got a lot of people here in need of prayers. We even have Medic Biker that just had a knee replacement, a tough surgery. Don't forget to keep her in your prayers. Turkey Man. Our prayer list is forever getting longer and longer. So just say a prayer for all those that are struggling with whatever they're struggling with this beautiful day. Heather, it's nice to see you. Chip, Elizabeth, good morning. It's nice to have you here. Dreaming of blue skies and sandy beaches. Good morning. Mama Bear of Tenn up in the house. It's nice to see you, love. We've got Laura Arnold up in the house. It's nice to see you. Pussy Willow Pendercat, good morning. Sorta Morta, it's nice to see you. Me, not you. Y'all hear what happened to, I don't know what happened to Brittany. I hope it's nothing bad because she's a sweet person and she doesn't deserve this, but hey, you know. What do I know? Lisa B. Always, it's nice to see you. Mickey Shell, good morning. It's nice to see you. Our beautiful Southern Grammy Wolf is up in the house. It's nice to have you here. So I still didn't quite get what all happened. Maybe somebody can fill me in. One of my mods, if you guys want to send me a text message, that'd be great. About whatever happened to Brittany. Just make it short and sweet so I can quickly look at it. I don't need a paragraph. It's nice to see you. Plant Lady, it's nice to see you as well. VA, hey, groovy gal. It is so nice to see you. Terry, good morning. Chaos, it's nice to see you. I know that somewhere out there, our beautiful It's Me Too is somewhere in the ether, so we're going to say a big shout out to her as well, along with Betty Fan and our beautiful Pebbles up in the house. It's nice to see all of my mods up here. Good morning, Kimberly. It's nice to see you. Who else do we have up in the house? Mama Bear, good morning. There's the real Me Too. I knew she was looking, and look at there. It's me, Jen. Good morning, Love Bug. I hope you're doing well as well. It's nice to see you all. Let's see if it say I can go down. I think I just went down a little too far, y'all. Who's your mama? Scotty Too Hottie, it's nice to see you. Who else do we have? Elizabeth, Panda Bear's mom, Tracy, Mary, Marie, I can't speak. Good gracious. CPS was called. That is some, you know what? I just want you guys to understand. These are the same people that are always so offended by everybody, right? Don't go real life, right? But they can go real life. They can put children in danger. They can do whatever they want. And the people that keep supporting this channel, if you're in my chat, get out, right? It's just that simple. We do not support going real life here on the true crime community. If you've got to go real life, how would you like it done to you? Because let's face it, we got a lot of bruises around children's neck coming from Queen Bee, a.k.a. Rebecca, you know, her home, whether it's her child or it was her. Either way, there's abuse across all these hate channels' homes. Never mind the drugs. Never mind that half of these people have had their own children taken away while sitting up here screaming for somebody else's child. If they can do it, I don't want to hear no more victimhood from these hate channels. You know what I say? The gloves are off, do it right back to them. Until law enforcement is sick and tired of this nonsense going on and starts arresting people for doing it. We all know, public records, Knox County, you can at least find one abuser. Just saying. Allegedly and in my opinion. Because we know where they're coming from. We know who's doing it. It's the abusers on these platforms. The people that like to abuse other people. The criminals. The felons on this platform. I digress. No more. That's my stance. No more. If you know who is doing this, you pick up the phone, you call law enforcement, you file a report. Until these assholes are locked up, whether it's only a 6-month probation period or whatever they have to do, start filing the damn reports. Because until they're held accountable, it's not going to stop. You see them talking about people's private information, you file those privacy complaints. You see somebody putting personal information, you report the channel, you report that show. These are all violations of YouTube's terms of service, and you are lawfully and without fear allowed to report these animals. If they offend you, report it as offensive. If they say racist comments, report it as racist. It's very simple. You all have the control in your hot little hands to do something about it, and I hope you do. Because we're sick of the fake rage, right? These people have this illusion where they act like it's all us when it's always them. Why don't they ever come up with, let me ask you this. Let's play devil's advocate here. Do you guys find it awfully funny that they're the ones always screaming that we're always doing the real life, right? Why doesn't it ever happen to them? Have you guys thought about that? Why aren't they on here saying, oh my God, CPS called on me. Oh my God, I was swatted. Oh my God, I had a police officer come to my house. Why is it always this side of the street that it happens to? Anybody ever ask those questions? But while they're standing up there saying, oh, we don't go real life. It's awfully funny that it's only this side of the aisle that always seems to have these problems. But the people that are screaming the loudest saying that it's happening to them never have any proof other than, oh my God, they're harassing me. Well, you know what? This girl's got CPS showing up at her door. I can tell you that Nick the Hat was muzzled. I was arrested. My judge had to recuse himself because of fucking threats. But you never hear that kind of shit going on over there. But they're the first ones to scream that it's being done to them. The proof is in the pudding. And if you want to willfully and blindly keep following them, understand what you are following. And let me find out anybody's calling CPS. I will turn your world upside down lawfully and legally. I will protest on the streets in front of your house if I find them, because I'm allowed to do that. It's within my constitutional rights, and if you are violating the law, I expose that. And trust me, I'm not one of these weak people. I actually come up and kick my feet up for a little bit. If you haven't noticed, when I put my mind to something, we're there not for a day or two. We don't get out of our car and say, oh, F you, and run away. No. We bring a whole bunch of people with signs and a bullhorn. And we walk up and down the street and wave at people and let them know. A bully lives here. If I've got to start changing my course of business and start going around and exposing all the bullies on these platforms, by God, I will do it. And there ain't going to be a damn thing law enforcement does about it as long as I'm following the law and doing it within the confines of our Constitution, which is pretty liberal when it comes to our constitutional rights. And that is not a threat. So go ahead and call the police officers. Oh my God, Betty's threatening us! You have no clue. You have no clue. And I will raise the money because I'm sure that kind of drama, people will pay for it. People will pay for it. They'll make sure I need to get where I got to go. I can guarantee that. All right, let's get on to real world stuff instead of these idiotic hate channels going real life on people while screaming they're the victim. We actually have real victims, like the girl that's right here. Okay, this is Caroline Grace Williams. She's 19 years old, right from my county, Manatee County, and she's medically needy and needs help. And this was not originally on my roster for this show. It was not originally on my roster for this show, but as you can see, just an hour ago, I saw this come out from my sheriff here in Manatee County, and it says, missing endangered Caroline Grace Williams, 19, was last seen on April 30th, 2025, around 8 p.m. in the 142,000 block of Nat Catcher Terrace in Lakewood Ranch. She is 4'10", 95 pounds, so petite and small. Blue eyes, brown hair, was last seeing a light blue tank top, blue jean shorts. Caroline has a medical condition that requires attention. If you have seen her, please reach out to the Manatee County Sheriff's Department at 941-747-3011. 3011. So I'm just going to keep her photo up there. Thank you. Yeah, I said a few cuss words this morning because it infuriates me. It infuriates me. And I will. This is what's going to end up happening. This is going to continue to happen to so many people that we are going to remove the anonymity of reporting. That means that if you lie, you're going to be going to jail. Because right now we have anonymous reporting that's highly abused when it comes to the Department of Children and Family Services. And something that we do have the ability to change is that requirement. And anybody and everybody that is caught abusing the system should be in jail. You call about your boyfriend when nothing's happening, you get a charge. You call about somebody you saw online and lying, you get a charge. That's what's going to end up happening if this continues. I can pretty much guarantee that within 5 to 10 years, that anonymous reporting will be removed. How is that helping victims? Oh, that's because the hate channels don't care about real victims. They only care about drama that pays them to continue doing illegal conduct. These people are felons, just like Miss Turner. Multiple felons. People that use drugs and have their children taken away from them, much like Granny Watching has done. Or like J.S. for Justice, when she walked away from her own children to marry a guy she had an affair with on her first husband. Just to have an affair on him, where he chases her around the house and wants to knock her lights out. While I do not condone domestic violence, like the stuff that we hear from Miss Turner and Miss Youngblood's camp, and Sing, for that matter. There's a lot of stuff that I know about a lot of people that I don't come here and blab. Why? Because it's not necessary. But I retain that information because if they decide to get out of line, I want to make sure I have something that can smack them around a little bit too. I don't like doing it. I don't like putting people's personal information online. But I'm not going to protect somebody that does that to other people. And it's sad that this took 20 minutes out of our day to discuss because of the horrible criminals here on this platform. As a matter of fact, I think maybe it's time for us to start really looking at the landscape of YouTube and find out if this is really what we want to continue to deal with. Because I'm ready to start knocking on YouTube's door to correct some of this shit. I know if we did a protest at the corporate building of YouTube, we would have a lot of support. And maybe that's exactly what we need to do. Make a list of all these people that totally misuse this platform. Get a petition and do a protest. Because while they can try to make this illusion that it's all of us, we don't need the illusionist to just talk to people and show them the reality of the situation. The bottom line is why does this always keep happening to one side of the aisle and not the other one, but it's always the other side of the aisle saying it's happening to them? Yet we have no cops, no swatting, no CPS showing up at their doors. But it's always on this side. Why? Why? I'm over it. It's time to fight back. It's time to fight back, all of us. You see something wrong? Go start looking up YouTube's policies and, all the terms of service. You see somebody out of line in the terms of service? Start reporting them. It is your responsibility how healthy YouTube is. It's not my responsibility as a content creator. All right. We have real business to get to instead of this nonsense. So we actually have a murderer on the run in Alabama. So all of my Alabama family that is out there, you've got a bad guy. You got a real bad guy in your grips. Let me see if I can find a photo of him. Why I can't find a damn photo of him. There we go. There we go. We're going to talk about this guy a little bit. And then I'll get back to you guys and thank you. Hey, Blue Eyes, it's nice to see you. I'll get back to all the star. Thank you for all the love and contributions this morning. I do appreciate it. This animal right here, his name is Eddie Jordan Jr. He's 19. He's wanted for 2 separate capital murder charges in Jefferson County, Alabama. He is accused of murdering Buford White. He was fatally shot in Toronto in January, and Demetrius Cherry, 22, was killed in a shootout in Birmingham, Kingston area in February. Now, this guy right here was actually apprehended by the marshals on April 23rd, however, got away, after a brief chase, and whatever happened during that chase injured this kid. So he was taken to UAB hospital for reported foot and ankle injuries. And he escaped custody at the hospital, prompting a widespread manhunt. Now, his cohort, Jarvis Russell, was also charged with White's murder. He has been arrested. He is behind bars. But this guy right here, Eddie Jordan Jr., is still on the run. We don't know where he is. I want you to take a good look at his photo. Authorities warn that Jordan is armed and dangerous. Birmingham police and UAB are reviewing the escaped incident and working to enhance security protocols. There is a $5,000 reward, folks. I know that I do have some Alabama people. You guys are really involved. This is an opportunity. Again, he's armed and dangerous. Do not approach him. If you do see him, please reach out to your local law enforcement immediately. Again, make sure you're in a safe area. He is unalived 2 people. This kid has nothing to lose. And there is a $5,000 reward. I did check into a little more of the Demetrius Cherry incident, and he is absolutely appears to be involved in that. 18-year-old Raymond Lewis has also been arrested in the death related to Cherry. So I wanted to show you guys just give you guys a couple updates on this case. Give me a second so you guys can get, I hate this mouse. This mouse is driving me nuts. Let me make sure we're not missing anything. Okay, good. I want to make sure that the volume is going to be. We might have a commercial because
America relies on clean, renewable energy. It powers everything from families to small businesses, from farmers.
New on 6 on your side, Birmingham police say they are coordinating with UAB police and launching an internal review over that murder suspect who escaped custody while at the hospital, something they say they never want to happen again.
Your reporter Taylor Posh has been covering this case for us since it broke in studio tonight with what she is learning about the investigation, Taylor.
Right. It's been nearly a week since murder suspect Eddie Jordan Jr. escaped from UAB hospital just hours after being captured by U.S. Marshals. Jordan is said to have been in BPD custody when he made his escape. And a spokesperson for Birmingham police says they want to prevent anything like this from happening ever again. In a statement, Sergeant Laquita Wade told WBRC that BPD is working with UAB police, launching an internal review into just how Jordan was able to escape from UAB hospital and evaluating what corrective actions are necessary to prevent it from happening again.
So now you guys get an idea of what transpired. I'm just going to go through these very quickly because, I'm ready to move on to a more lighter story this morning.
Into our
before we
newsroom,
get
one
to
of two
Sebastian
people
Rogers.
accused in the death of a man in Tenn has been taken into custody.
We want to get right over to WVTM 13's Emma Owen. Emma, what's the latest information?
Well, Sherry and Guy, according to the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office website, Javaris Russell has been taken into custody. Now, this is the mugshot from the website. It says he was booked into the Jefferson County jail this afternoon. He is charged with capital murder. Now, Russell and Eddie Jordan Jr. are accused in the death of Buford White in January. And as Guy and Sherry will soon explain, the search continues for the other suspect. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Emma. Well, law enforcement are in our area actively still looking.
There he is. There he is with now his hair may decide to change his appearance, right? Because he was seen with kind of, I don't know, where's that photo of him? Kind of longer hair, right? He had longer hair here. So he may even have a shaved head at this point to try to obscure his identity to the folks. But if you want some shorter hair and see him a little bit better, this would be the image right here. You get a better facial feature, his nose, his eyes, what he looks like, looking him eyeball to eyeball. So let's see. Hairstylist VA. That's too funny. Maybe I should, after this segment, this little clip here, maybe I'll play the mullet.
For the other murder suspect, Eddie Jordan Jr., he's the 19-year-old who escaped police custody last week.
WBTM 13's Magdala Lusant spoke with the victim's sister about her feelings on the incident.
This is important.
Buford's sister tells me they were happy when they learned about Jordan's arrest because they were this much closer to getting justice. But that was taken away from them when Jordan escaped police custody here from UAB Hospital. It's been 4 days and counting since Buford White's sister, Cindy Herbert, was told the suspect in her brother's murder escaped police custody. Tarrant police believe he and Javaris Russell Jr. are responsible for White's death. He was shot and killed near a home on Mountain Drive in January. Last Wednesday, the U.S. Marshals Gulf Coast Regional Fugitive Task Force caught the 19-year-old after a short chase. He was taken to UAB Hospital, then escaped.
I don't know that there was only one officer there. I don't know anything beyond the fact that he escaped at the hospital at UAB. But something needs to be done so that this does not happen again. This should never have happened in the first place.
White's sister tells me she's afraid to show her face because the suspected killers are still out there.
That's got to be pretty scary. That's got to be pretty scary for this family. And what caused this whole situation, I'm sure we'll start hearing about in the future.
I feel like there's a possibility, number one, that he's long gone. I feel like that might have been our one shot.
I don't necessarily believe that personally. I don't think this is going to be their one shot. And there's a few reasons why I say that is because our history with fugitives running from the law, it's a little bit harder to get them transported and moved, especially here in the state of Florida. We have traffic cameras all over the place. Exactly, me and you. He's hiding out, and he's hiding out with somebody that's known to him. Family might be helping him. He might be moving more so at night than any other time. But just to give you guys a brief rundown of this guy, his name is Eddie Jordan Jr. This is out of the state of Florida. Why did I say the state of Florida? He's out of the state of Alabama. This is Toronto and Birmingham area. He's involved in 2 separate murder incidences, one for a Buford White, which is 36 years old, that was fatally shot, and Demarius Cherry, 22, was also murdered in a shootout in the Birmingham Kingston area of Alabama. He was apprehended on the 23rd, but he had to be taken to the hospital, and he managed to escape from the hospital. And I do agree, something has to be reviewed and looked at. Obviously, you know, a hospital's a busy place, and it's a little harder to keep people subdued. But I don't understand, because most people usually are arrested and put, like, the cuff is attached to the bed, and nobody's allowed to see them, not even their family. They are there with an officer at their side, and that's usually how it works. But in this case, that's not really how it worked. So again, he's escaped police custody. He is on the lam. If you have any information, please reach out. There is a $5,000 reward. What you guys can't see in this picture above, this is something a little new, okay? This is the little light-sided of the Bullhorn Betty channel. It's just an article that I found that I thought was interesting, because I, believe it or not, in my passing time, some of the ways that I unwind is by way of watching either baking videos, but I find those baking videos really make me hungry. So hold on, let me get my ear out. Okay, sorry, I had to get all my stuff for coffee. I brought my coffee in here. Thank you guys. Thank you, Sonia, and it's me, Jen. I will be going over those in just a second. Thank you so much for your love and support. So, anyways, I watch building stuff. And like this morning, I was watching 2 people literally build a log house from cutting down trees in the area to build the log house. Okay, I don't know why, but it interests me. And so I watch a lot of that stuff. So I've already heard about these 3D printers, concrete printers. And maybe many of you guys don't know about it. Oh, thank you, me and you. God bless you guys. You guys are so sweet. I appreciate it. This is the first Starbucks. That's what I said. It's the first Starbucks that is being made by a 3D printer. By a 3D printer. Isn't that cool? So I wanted to show you guys this. I thought this was interesting. This is out of Seattle. I believe it's Seattle. The Seattle-based giant with more than 17,000 stores nationwide had, it's the Texas city. Brownsville is the one that is getting the computer-controlled robotic arm. I have seen this printer work in the past, y'all. I've watched it. I thought it was very, very interesting. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm on an article. And when I'm on an article, let me see if I can get some of the stuff to quit with the lag. But the rest of these things are written articles, and they have such a massive amount of advertisements that constantly pop up, and it makes it more difficult. Look at that. That is what a 3D printer does to a property right there. You see those lines? I don't know if you guys have ever seen a 3D home printer. Let me see if I can pull it up. I probably should. 3D home printer. Let me see if I can get a video up here. Okay, here's one.
Printing at Alquist. Here at Alquist, we focus on printing homes that are affordable in the community. And for the people in the area, we range between 1,500 square feet and 1,300 for our single family. We use large scale construction 3D printers to be able to create affordable housing. And
so there you go. Now you guys see what 3D printing is. And so it's very interesting because this, to me, is new state-of-the-art ways to build homes a lot quicker. And this is important because many of us, oh, hey, Andrea, it's nice to see you, love bug. I hope you're doing well. Connie, it's nice to see you. Karen, good morning. Good morning. So, oh, Kelly, good morning. I know, I'm sitting here drinking. This is like my 4th cup of coffee. I keep wondering when my break is going to be needed. We'll find out. So first ever 3D printed Starbucks coming to you. I have a funny feeling they're going to start embracing this new technology. Why? Because this literally knocks out construction, months of construction in as little as less than a week, I think, is what they can construct. This might take a couple days to construct, just to let you know. Just the exterior. That is huge. That's so much time saving, right? And think about all of the construction workers on the job that you would have to have. In this situation, you need to have the 3D concrete printer. You need to have plenty of concrete, and you need to have a few people to man the printer. And then, of course, the insides of the walls also at some point need to be filled. So again, a lot of cost effective and efficiency with this type of design. I just thought it was interesting. You probably guys are probably bored with my 3D printing fantasy, but I think it's neat. I think it's neat. However, with everything that comes with new technology and a new robot, it's a lot of jobs that are gone, with our new technology. But this is a great opportunity. Oh, thank you, Amy M. Thank you so much. But this is a great opportunity for people to learn new skills, be the printer designer or, whatever, the foreman or whatever the case may be. But I just think this technology is so awesome. It's very, for me, it's ingenious. It makes me wonder, because I look at all this stuff. I'm involved in my politics. I'm always trying to look at new ways to build homes quicker, less expensive. Just a few years ago, a big thing that didn't really get off the ground too much, which I thought was phenomenal, and I haven't seen a whole lot with it. And it's these styrofoam building blocks. And I thought, okay, this is like the latest technology. This is really going to take hold. People are going to really start using this. And it's very simple. People can put a house together with these styrofoam blocks that are very, very, you can lift them up, move them around. And then after everything's done, you go back with the concrete and you fill in between the styrofoam blocks. So I thought that was going to be the latest in advancement in technology and stuff with these styrofoam blocks. But then when I saw this first 3D printer come out, I'm like, wow, this is pretty interesting. So this is what I've got here. 1,400 square foot store situated in Brownsville, Texas. It's going to be opened. Listen to how quick they're going to have this store open. It's going to be open May 2nd, 2025. Now tell me, if you're a business like Starbucks, how important is it for you to build your store and have it open very, very quickly? It's huge, because when you're scaling stuff, you need a business producing money as quickly as possible, right? And every single business takes 2 to 5 years to get off the ground, to make it profitable. By the time you have, building costs, equipment costs, it takes a long time, typically 2 to 5 years for a business to start showing black, right? Because you're always in the red until you get to a specific place. And that's in business in general. Oh, thank you, Peggy. God bless you. Hi, look, Keith, it's nice to see you. I hope you're doing well this morning. So this was built by a German firm. It's the Perry 3D construction. The structure was created using computer-controlled robotic arm that layered concrete to form the building's walls. The building's exterior displayed distinctive ridged walls, a hallmark of the 3D printing process, giving a unique aesthetic compared to traditional Starbucks locations. This location is designed exclusively for drive-through and mobile order pickups service. No indoor seating is available. Cost and efficiency. The project had an estimated cost of $1.2 million, while 3D printing construction currently incurs higher costs than traditional methods. It offers benefits like reduced labor requirements and faster build times. Again, something that a company like Starbucks would like. All right, guys, if you guys have not figured it out, this is going to be a very long live this morning. We're going over a lot of stuff, and then we're going to be migrating over to the Sebastian Rogers case, which I have some breakdown of information that I would like to share with you guys. Let me get to that segment. Are we almost there yet? Okay, we are getting closer and closer. So just recently, let me see if I can pull this up. Is this just the photo? I think this is just the photo. Yeah, I think this will work. I think this will work for what I need it to do. There we go. Oh, thank you, Blue Eyes. Keeping you. Continue to shake the haters off. You will be the one to come out on top. You also have awesome. Oh, thank you, Blue Eyes. You know, it's not about coming out on top. It's just about trying to make sure people are doing the right thing and being safe, because I'm so sick of the hypocrisy here. You know, the rules for thee, but not for me. And it's getting to the point where these people are pushing to have something happen. And eventually their behavior is going to catch up with them, because somebody's going to end up losing their life or getting hurt seriously because of their conduct. And you know what? And if it does happen to them, like somebody loses their shit because they can't take any more of their bullying, nobody's going to cry. And they're going to act like, oh my God, we didn't see this coming. And how dare you? And how it's like, how you can only push people so much before somebody's going to react. Which way is it going to go? Is it going to go toward them or towards somebody that they're talking about? They're dangerous. They're violent, abusive people. And I'm sick and tired of acting like they're somebody. They're nobody. These are the bottom people. These are the trailer trash of YouTube. Okay? This is the ghetto of YouTube. These people. And people go in and support them. And it's like these people are missing their damn teeth, can't even pay for their auto insurance, but they're getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Yet you guys act like you don't realize they're all on drugs and abusing their own children at that. And then standing up here talking about somebody else's child. It's enough to make you sick. It's enough to make you sick. But we got good news. Here in the state of Florida, as you see right above me, there's a whole lot of pictures of people in orange, right? These are the 19, I believe. Is it 19 people? I think it's 19 people. These are the 19 people that face 113 charges. Many face 25-year minimum mandatory prison sentences for this next story. This is a Florida drug ring that was stopped. This was led by Pinellas County Sheriff Bob Gualtieri, I can't even pronounce it. Gualtieri, I think is how you pronounce his name, with the support of FDLE Commissioner Mark Glass. The operation dismantled a large-scale drug trafficking ring active for several years in Pinellas as well as surrounding counties, originating from an undercover buy in August of 2024 and expanded via court-authorized wiretapping and surveillance. The substances involved were coke, meth, and fent. Tens of thousands of fake fent-laced oxycodone and Adderall laced with meth. They have a pill press, multiple firearms, including an AK-47, over 1,000 rounds of ammunition, $41,000 in cash, 2 kilograms or kilos of coke, 6 ounces of fent, and 1.5 pounds of meth. So the main suspects are Sofia Caballero and her boyfriend Alejandro De Leon were initial targets. Caballero supplier was a Atia family, a Clearwater-based drug organization. Family members include Ali, Hamid, Haydar, Saif Atia, and their mother Alam Rahim, acting as CEO of the operation. Those do not sound like people from this country. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. But I'm just saying, something's a little funny with their names. Just a mild observation. Operations detail. Family manufactured fake pills using a pill press hidden in the ceiling tile. Sold 6,000 to 10,000 pills per month. Distributed substances to mid-level dealers, including Crystal Arnold, Kevin Muth, and Muller Gorgie. Gorgie even started his own pill operation using their recipe. 19 people arrested, 113 charges, nearly all extensive criminal histories, including felonies and firearms. Sounds like the squad that Chris and Katie Proudfoot decided to put together here on this platform, doesn't it? Investigators noticed the dangers of use of pill press and fent lethality. Law enforcement support was funded by Florida's SAFE Initiative, which is DeSantis backed from 2023. Over 1,500 arrests under the program statewide. FDLE emphasizes community tips are essential to the success. So now we're going to go over to the press conference related to this and listen to what the chief of police and his name, or excuse me, Pinellas County Sheriff Bob Galtieri, right here. And I'm gonna let him take it away. Let me just back it up here just a little bit because he always gets into the highs and the
Pinellas County Sheriff's Office detective made an initial purchase of what's called 3.5 grams, a very small amount of cocaine from Quibero and De Leon. Now, based on their conversations, that was kind of an introductory type buy. Based on their conversations, it was evident that Quibero was capable of supplying larger cocaine quantities and that she could also supply the undercover detective with large quantities of methamphetamine. Quibero told the detective that she was selling ounces of cocaine for about $1,100 and ounces of methamphetamine for about $250. So between August of 2024 and February of 2025, detectives made numerous undercover purchases of cocaine and methamphetamine from Quibero and De Leon. Now, during the course of the investigation and during that period of time, detectives also identified Ali Atia as one of Quibero's sources of supply for the cocaine. And as you can see, these people are up here on the charts, and I'll talk a little bit more about it here in a second. The Atia family is all up at the top, and Sofia Quibero is the first one in the second row there on the chart. During the investigation,
I will tell you, this is very upsetting to me in part because, you know, when I hear women are involved in this, it really does something to me. And I think one of the reasons why it does something to me is because these are typically moms. These are typically moms selling poison to children. And, you know, people, they don't need to be sold. You know, you don't need to ask a driver's license. You know that these types of things gets into the hands of our children, right? Any dealer, no matter how you look at it, is dealing to children because this stuff ends up in children's hands. So it's very disheartening for me when I hear women involved in this because I expect women to be mama bears to children, not provide them poison.
Investigation, we also learned that Ali Atia was involved with his brother Haydar Atia and Molar Gorgie in making fake oxycodone pills using fentanyl and Adderall. And what they were doing with this was people can get oxycodone, you can get Adderall. Pharmaceutical, it's got its pharmaceutical components to it.
Pharmaceuticals, in my opinion, are the reason why we are here with all these fent and HODs because they shut down the pill mills, but they never fixed the addicts.
And Ali Atiyah. And then Gorgie, he decided to be an entrepreneur all unto himself. He obtained his own pill press, and he used the Atiyah's pill recipe and began his own pill distribution organization.
So we've got them all being, let's listen to Mark real quick.
Call to give the tip lines to the sheriff's departments is crucial, because that one little tip you may give will uncover an operation like this. Now, the Florida Safe Initiative, Governor DeSantis brought that to fruition in 2023 with legislation, and it was been one of the best, I will say the best in my time, best criminal justice program ever. And kind of just to give you a little bit of stats on that, this is the second year we've done this, and
Now, I want you guys to understand something, okay? Back in most of our days, we didn't have chemists, okay? We had growers, all right? Back in my day, you had harder substances, but for younger youth, our substances typically of choice were alcohol and marijuana, okay? This day and age, your children truly don't know what they're getting, okay? You've got people, I want you guys to think about this, with pill presses being, the chemist, the Breaking Bad, and people are thinking that this is normal Adderall or, a opioid type of pharmaceutical or a pain relieving, a narcotic pharmaceutical, right? They're thinking they're getting the legit real stuff, and they are literally getting this chemistry project and ingesting it. And this is being passed around in schools for your children. This is being passed around at the parties your children go and attend. This is serious stuff. And these presses were taken off the street. This ungodly amount of drugs that can kill our children, as well as other addicts, is off the street. Does it help the actual person addicted? No, they need to help themselves. They need to understand that their life is out of their control, and it's time to hand it over to somebody that has a little more power to make better decisions for them. So I guess the good news is the pill press pipeline, how a Clearwater family fueled deadly drug empire has now been halted with the work of the Pinellas County Sheriff's Department, as well as FDLE. This is Mark Glass right there. We've got a lot of arrests again, 19 arrests, over 100 charges. What was seized is 2 kilos of coke, 6 ounces of fent, meth, weapons, cash, and a stolen Jeep painted white to hide its origin. So we've got a bunch of bad stuff. This is not the only crazy story we have in Florida. Folks, something was really bad about to happen if it wasn't for our law enforcement in Palm Beach to stop it. We had a plan. Somebody in the state of Florida had not only planned, but took actual activity to acquire what was needed to carry out a mass shooting plot. When I go over this story, this is enough to make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. I am very, very thankful today, as you can tell by the stories that I'm running, very thankful for law enforcement, not just here in Florida, but around this country, with the exception of one county in the whole entire United States of America, which resides right in Tennessee. But Damian Allen was planning, let me get to that, was planning a mass shooting event. This is going to be a 13-minute video that I'm going to show all of you, okay? I'm not going to skip around on this one because this video here is so shocking. So shocking. Like this almost feels, when you hear some of the details, it feels like Big Brother's helping this guy. And you don't understand what I mean until you hear the details. It's on Damian Allen, Lockahachie, Palm Beach County. Written threats to kill or do bodily harm, unlawful use of a two-way communication, unlawful use of law enforcement badges, plural. Planned a mass shooting targeting at least 7 locations, including a police station and churches. Motive includes racial and ethnic hatred, discussed guerrilla warfare, and ambush tactics. I'm not going to go into any more because if I do, it's going to give you too much information about the impersonation of the officer. So again, this is a 13-minute video. Hold on, let me see what other stories I've got after this one. I think we're going to be moving into, looks like I got one more story after this one here. Yeah, it looks like I got one more story, another Florida story after this one. So without further ado, you guys need to hear this. This is scary. This happened here in my state, and this could be happening all over the country because he was working with somebody, period. So you guys need to be vigilant. If you see somebody cracking a joke online, this is not the time and place for us to take these types of threats with a grain of salt. Okay? We don't have the option of deciding whether somebody is willing to carry that out or is just shooting their mouth off. We have to act like every single person that makes a threat will follow through on that threat. This is the day and age when you see something, you say something because somebody's life could be on the line. It could be on the line. This is going to bother you guys. I will tell you that. 13 minutes. Here we go.
This is a tremendous case. And I say that because the investigators that worked this case, there's no doubt in my mind they have stopped a mass shooting that was going to happen. This guy was ready to go, had all.
This was no joke, okay? What you're about to hear from this law enforcement sheriff is that this was a man that was serious about this. This wasn't shooting off at the mouth. This wasn't popping off at the mouth. This is somebody that went through great care to plan and orchestrate this. And if not for the work of law enforcement, people would be dead in this state right now.
The equipment had the propensity to do it. It's just a matter of what day was going to set them off to go do it. So it's no doubt in my mind saved a lot of lives at one point in time. So I'm going to let Captain Foley, is the head of the unit, walk you through this. We have a representative from the FBI up here also. And after that, I'll finish it up and then we'll take some questions. Cap?
Thanks, Sheriff. Good afternoon, everyone. Glad you could be here. My name is Captain Randy Foley, F-O-L-E-Y, Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. We're here with our representative of FBI, ASAC McCormick, during the joint investigation.
I'm almost tempted to slow this down. This guy talks really fast. So if you guys are like, what did he say? That's just the way he talks. I just want to let you know, but you guys will get the bulk of what they're trying to say. This is important.
So today I'll be addressing the arrest and ongoing investigation into Damian Allen, a Lockahachie resident and Palm Beach County resident connected in serious criminal offenses, including threats of mass violence and impersonating a law enforcement officer. So basic case overview is PBSO and received information from the FBI, which they had an open guardian tip related to another case that we're not involved in. The tip was involving Damian Allen, which is currently residing in Palm Beach County. PBSO and FBI.
So they received a tip from another agency, from another person implicating him from an FBI investigation that they're doing on another person, most likely that's planning the same type of thing. I want that to sink in. And that person is not in the state of Florida. This was going to be carried out, in my opinion, across multiple states at the same time, the way it sounds.
I obtained the information that Allen may have been planning an attack and engaged in threatening communications online to commit mass violence. So some of the information we have on this is that there were online communications with other individuals who discussed carrying out mass violence, not just here in Florida and Palm Beach County, but in the nation. Allen expressed support of radically and ethically motivated violent extremism and threats of mass violence, to include identifying several places, I believe it was 7, that he would like to strike. This included a police department, and in other conversations, people who was online were to discuss churches. The use of guerrilla warfare and tactics and ambushing to carry out the mass violence attacks. The joint investigation between the FBI and us revealed that there was chats and videos showing Allen discussing the use of body armor, steel plates, tactical gear, grenades, and multiple firearms, which we'll get down to in a couple minutes. His main desire was to harm law enforcement and attack a law enforcement facility.
Did you guys hear grenades? He had grenades. There's stuff that this man has that I can't figure out how he would get in possession of, and you're going to hear even more.
Here's that he has a philosophy of violence against civilians and law enforcement equally, but specifically spoke about law enforcement organizations to strike. Some of the information related to impersonating a police officer that was very concerning to us. He posted several videos of him wearing a full PBSO uniform, which is very similar to what myself and the sheriff are wearing today.
Did you hear that? He had a full uniform like he's wearing right now. How in the world would this man get a hold of police gear? And it wasn't just this uniform he had in his possession either.
Okay. It included a badge, a name tag with his name on it, and all the equipment that is issued through to PBSO officers. It was a Class B uniform, which is a less dressier one, the short sleeve version, but he had 2 or 3 of those uniforms, which at that time we're still looking to how those were obtained.
2 or 3
He had
of
a
them.
gun belt, a taser, a radio, and other police equipment, including a fake body cam video to make it more realistic. He showed himself operating a vehicle that resembled a law enforcement car. I believe it was a Crown Vic, if I'm not mistaken. And he added a police package, a laptop stand, and a police computer in there. And it was operational, and he would take videos of him standing it. And
after that, I'll finish it up.
Oh, sorry. This is a serious, when I say serious threat, this is probably the most serious of all threats that I have seen foiled. Not only did he have tactical gear, not only did he have law enforcement uniforms and badges, he outfitted a car to resemble law enforcement. That is not it either, y'all. He had other badges, other uniforms from other law enforcement agencies, including the FBI.
he had an Army Ranger uniform, and he had a set of Marine Corps dress blues. He had a ballistic vest, ballistic helmets, and law enforcement federal credentials, active duty Army credentials, FBI credentials, and PBSO badges. He had a gun belt, as I mentioned, a police car before, and he 3D printed a body camera. He also, with the 2 concerning things, was the self-made Army training certificate. So he actually took the time to make a self-certificate that he was an Army Ranger. And he had insignia that you can see in one of these pictures here of the Nazi insignias. So that was what was recovered in yesterday's search warrant. So we still have a lot of evidence to shift through. And I'm going to turn this back over to Sheriff Bradshaw.
So that is the crux of this violent person. And he was working in concert with other people online. Okay, this is not, like I said, you just heard him. The FBI sent them a lead from another person that they were monitoring for doing the same thing. It appeared that this was a group effort where they were going to try to hit several different places across this country around the same time using these same tactical methods. That's what I got out of it. So the impersonation of law enforcement wore authentic appearing PBSO uniforms, badge with his name on the tag. Operated a vehicle modified to look like a police cruiser. Used a 3D printed body camera, fake radios, and law enforcement grade gear. Also possessed FBI, Army Ranger, and Marine uniforms and fake credentials. Seizure from his house. This is going to be astounding to you guys. If you guys didn't hear it, I can't remember if I stopped it before, but there were 18 real firearms found, including suspected fully automatic AR rifles with an S, over 12,000 rounds of ammunition, grenades, flashbangs, ballistic vest and helmet, multiple tactical outfit and propaganda, including stuff with Nazi insignia. FBI Guardian tip prompted the case. Ongoing 5-week investigation led to the search and arrest warrant after new evidence emerged on April 24th and April 25th. Allen has an extensive social media activity on Instagram as well as Discord, promoting violence, had online ties to others across state lines, including a Wisconsin woman who later committed a mass shooting. Joint investigation by PBSO and the FBI Behavioral Service Unit credited to thwarting this catastrophic attack. Sheriff Bradshaw, no doubt in my mind, he was going to do it. It was just a matter of the trigger. What would set him off before he acted? That is some craziness. Okay, guys, I was going to go through another account with you, but we're already after an hour, and that's really what I designated for this. The other one's not really it's important. A lady is recovering from a random knife attack in Orlando right now. So I just want to, I guess the commentary on that is please be vigilant. This is a crazy world out there, and I don't care what law enforcement is telling us. I see violence every day. And, I had an opportunity one time to sit down and speak with Penn Badgley. Many of you guys may know him for the hit series You. And him and I got into a conversation about the crime statistics. And his position was that per capita crime has gone down, which basically means that because we have so many more people, the amount of crime happening is a lot less based on the number of people. My stance, on the other hand, is there is a lot more crime because no matter how you look at it, if we have a million extra people and that increases, 20 or 30 more attacks to every 100,000 people we have, wouldn't that mean that if we had 15 attacks this year and we have 50 attacks this year, in my mind, crime has increased. But in his mind, per capita, crime has gone down. So I thought that was a very interesting dialogue. Maybe one day you guys will be able to see that dialogue. Maybe you guys won't. But we did film, had an opportunity to meet with Penn Badgley. Golly, I think it was last year sometime. And a lot shorter than I thought, but really down to earth kind of guy. So just something to chat about, right? Just something to chat about. And just to show you before we move on who this animal was, the one thing I always do on this show, there he is. That right there, my friends, what is his name? Hold on, let me get to the page. Oh, good gracious. Here we go. His name is Damian Allen. Damian Allen is the guy. Looks like a normal kid that might live next to you. Looks like a teenage kid that lives next to you. If I saw this kid walking around, I wouldn't think anything of it. I wouldn't think anything of it. And I believe this is probably the girl, Morrisville. I think this might be the girl that he was associated with. Let's see if we can put this up on the big screen. Hold on a second. I think this might be the girl. Where is this? Hold on. I don't know where Morrisville is. I think because this was right next to his picture, and they said a girl was already arrested. So
we have new information on the Mooresville High School student arrested for allegedly planning to shoot up the school today on this Valentine's Day.
The 18-year-old was in court for the first time this afternoon. Fox 59's Claire Curry joins us live from outside the Morgan County Courthouse. Claire.
That's right. 18-year-old Trinity Shockley was seen in court via Zoom today for her alleged plans to kill her fellow classmates in a mass shooting that would have taken place today. Now, she's being charged with conspiracy to commit murder, intimidation, and conspiracy to commit intimidation. Court documents detail how Shockley had planned for over a year to execute the mass killing. According to court documents, she had communicated to others about her desires to gun down students at lunch using an AR-15. During the investigation, police discovered Shockley had...
Now, these are the same people that are out in the street protesting. I just want to make sure you guys understand it. These are the same people that are out in the roads protesting that we need to get rid of guns. But yet, every time they have a temper tantrum, what's the first thing they run to? Just a little food for thought. All right, guys, that's it for the segments leading up to the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case. We are going to be diving into Sebastian's case here in just a moment. We know that this case has been riddled with a mess and a massive amount of bullying and other, let me save this. My bullets. Key bullet points today is 5-1. Okay. Sorry, let me get this out of here. And what's this one for? Oh, I don't need that anymore. Okay. So before we get started on this topic of conversation, I want to address a few things. We all know that Julie Skolnick is a basket case. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. She is a turncoat. She says she's here for Sebastian, but she really wasn't. She was here for attention. She was here for the attention of Sebastian's father to help make her clicks and views and to help make a name for herself. Unfortunately, she gave Seth a sour taste in his mouth from everything that I understand about the situation, and he didn't trust her. Therefore, he never got close to her while he was appreciative of her content, especially about the law and stuff like that. He really wasn't impressed with her behavior. She reached out to me under false pretenses to get me on the phone to talk to me about something completely opposite, leaving me on the phone for an hour. If you know anything about me, when I'm working my day, I've got so much work in one given day. Me taking an hour of my time to speak to somebody, it's a lot. Okay. And I did that in an effort to help this new creator. And after I got off the phone with her, the first thing I did was immediately block her because I could tell that she's in left field. So she has now attacked Tony. She's now attacked me. She's attacked just about everybody that hasn't paid her any attention. And quite frankly, I think she's a basket case. And I think that she's got some major mental problems, especially when it comes to rejection. And how she treats people when they don't want to give her the attention she feels or she thinks she deserves. So she has since now come out and started attacking Hindsight. Hindsight. A grandma. Not a basket case lady that can't keep her own house in order, but a woman that has absolutely no other will intent in her eyes or life than to try to help victims of crime. I've known Hindsight and watched Hindsight for ever since I've been on this platform. Okay, as well as TikTok, because I started on TikTok. So because Hindsight is so classy, and because Hindsight has no ill will for anybody, I think that it's very, very, very important that you hear this, because Julie lied. over and over and over again and continues to lie to this day. And so Hindsight decided to put the receipts up, not just her words, legit, verifiable receipts that Julie is lying. So I am absolutely going to put this up for the people of my chat to see, because Hindsight deserves her voice as well. I gotta turn the volume down. Hold on. I can't have that kind. There we go. So I'll read it to you. It says, Julie Skolnick, I respectfully asked of you yesterday not to speak of me, especially with lies. I answer to no one but the hand of God, which does not permit others to be lied upon. As a person with my own ADA disabilities, I work with no one but him. Here lies the truth of his hand. Please listen to the words of which you spoke today as you read the words that which you had wrote to me. So she's wrote to Hindsight. So here's what she has. Let me go back. Let me turn this off and see if I can.
Most recent one, I think, started with.
Okay, here it is. Now we can listen to this. There we go.
You know, me getting pissed about being in the RICO filing, injunction with an exhibit, and then not want, because I was critical of it.
So she's basically saying that she was critical of the lawsuit and that she was appalled that she was in an exhibit. But here's a specific message to Hindsight that says, hi, do you have any contact information for Nick the Hat for the RICO case? I have testimony to give them about a phone call I had with Stephen McCrabtree just after he first started helping the mob crew. Would you be able to call me? I could use a little advice. Julie. So Hindsight writes down, yeah, you can reach out to him, 1-800-TELL-DOG, and put the phone number there and put Nick the Hat's text number in there, and provided tips at manhunts.one and an email at doxing@atnight.agency. So she provided everything that Julie asked, but Julie lied. She tried to tell the world she didn't want to be a part of the RICO case. And here is the receipt that she actually sought out Nick and the team to be added in her testimony, be provided to them for the sake of that case. Again, a big old fat lie. Now that we know that Julie is capable of lying, can we ever trust anything that ever comes out of her mouth again? I don't know. Let's keep listening.
I was openly critical of it. They didn't like me being openly critical of it. I said, I don't understand the strategy. I don't understand how this gets anybody closer to finding out what happened to Sebastian. Barbecue lady doesn't know where he is, and it just got worse from there.
That's on fire.
And, is very, very good friends with, like, best buddies with Hindsight 2002.
Okay, now she's going to start getting into Hindsight. Now, mind you, I know Hindsight. I know Mama Marissa. And outside of the fact that they came from TikTok, everything that this woman has said about them is a flat out lie. So here is Julie Skolnick yet again. Hi, Hindsight. I have several good tips for Nick the Hat. 1, Rafe camera footage from roads, highways on the ramp in Hendersonville. And 2, some really bad stuff on Cluminati and JS for Justice that I don't think Nick knows. Would you please ask him if we can set up a 10-minute call soon? My cell is blah, blah, blah. Let me know if this is possible, please. I would really appreciate it. So do you guys see this? Do you guys understand why Julie is acting like this? She keeps saying she talked to all these people. But according to all of the receipts, she's been trying to speak to all these people and nobody would speak to her. Nobody would speak with her. Nobody on the green team, nobody on Team Sebastian, nobody on Sebastian's army, none of them. Nobody wanted anything to do with Julie because she was new. We didn't know her. We were just watching her. So far, she had a few good, videos going out that we all said, go over here and check this new content creator. We all gave her the ability to get those subscribers. And because she did not get the attention she thought she deserved, she decided to lie. And not just lie, but get caught lying. Because she's telling these people, she's been speaking to these people, and based upon all of these clips and all of these receipts, she's been begging to speak to these people, and nobody would call her back. I got on the phone with her one time, and that was enough for me. I don't want nothing to do with the basket case. I really don't. She's got mental problems, and I find it so suspect that all of a sudden her children move out as soon as we realize her children aren't living at home anymore. All of a sudden, they just moved out. Yet you see boxes of stuff she's buying to stage the room. Like, I saw boxes of stuff ordered by Amazon to stage the damn room, and she's like, oh yeah, this is my son's room. You liar, 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 pants on fire. Because we think that is. Oh, come on now. That ain't even bullshit. That's horse shit. Right? So I thought that Hindsight absolutely deserved her opportunity to have her voice heard in this matter. I'm glad that, as always, Hindsight produces receipts. So there's no, you don't have to go off of her word for it, right? You get to see it. We have to keep taking Julie's word for it because she never produces a damn thing to support any opinion she has, including the law and all this legal nonsense that she's been spitting out. The reason why I have not, because I used to work in the law, and she's saying some stuff, and I told her on the phone it doesn't work like that. But she's too boneheaded to understand. She's too stupid. Okay? Julie is too stupid to understand how things work. She probably needs to go back and get an education on shutting the, understanding why you have two ears and one mouth. Might help her. I don't know. It's never helped Bullhorn Betty, but who knows? Who knows? So before we start going into the case of Sebastian, we've been here for an hour and 30 minutes. I'm going to take just the tiniest little itsy-beansy little break because I got to. So give me just a moment. I'm going to put on some music for everybody. I'm going to turn my camera off, and we are going to take a small little break and come back here, and we're going to talk about the Sebastian Waindrake Rogers case. If you are like me and have 5 gallons of coffee in you, you're probably going to appreciate this tiniest of breaks. So we will be back here in 2 momentos to cover the Sebastian Rogers case, and you do not want to miss this information.
They crawl in shadows in the spiteful haze, whispering venom lost in a maze. They meddle with lives, play a twisted game, but we see the truth, call them by name. They think they own the spotlight's glare, fingers pointing as if they care, but Sebastian's army stands in the light. Through the chaos, we're ready to fight. Get out the way, your eyes won't stay. Sebastian's army clears the fray. Unstoppable force, pure and loud. We rise together, we're battle proud. Your hated falters, fades like.
All right. Thank you. Hopefully everybody's back. My teeth were floating away, okay? I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to take a few moments here just to kind of break before we dovetail into more in-depth. What, you want up here? You want to say hi to everybody? Come say hi. Come say hi, everybody. Say hi. I'm Delilah. If you don't know me, I take a bite out of crime. I'm the crime-fighting dog. I'm the mascot of the Bullhorn Betty channel. Such a sweet little girly whirly. He loves her mommy. All right, go play. Go play. I can always tell when I go over my hour and a half. She's at my chair. She literally is at my chair saying, "Mommy, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you gonna say hi to me? Are you gonna take me out?" Nope, we still got a long ways to go. She's never happy with mommy. That's okay. All right, so I just cleared off most of the stuff. My lips should now sync with my voice now that I got all the stuff pulling bandwidth back. So let me just go through here and just thank everybody that's participated today. Thank you so much. Melanie says, good morning, Betty, Delilah, mods, and chat. Hope everyone is doing well. And likewise to you. You got some big days coming up here in the near future. So we just want to say a prayer and tell you God bless you. Elizabeth says, we believe in you, Betty. Thank you for bringing light to the darkness. God bless you for that. Southern Granny Wolf says, happy May. God bless you. All the beans. It is May 1st. We're in a whole entire new era? Month? I don't know. I feel like we're in the twilight zone if you really want to know the truth. Okay. I don't feel like it's May. I feel like it's the twilight zone. Thank you, Elizabeth, for the super sticker. Lisa B always says, Bullhorn Betty's cuss jar. Thank you for supporting. I did cuss this morning quite a bit. It's me, Jen, gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget to tell It's Me, Jen. Thank you. And whoever received the Bullhorn Betty membership, welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straitjacket and your padded room. Welcome aboard. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Our beautiful Sonia is up in the house saying, I hope everyone contributes what they can for your legal. Aw, thank you so much. And we got It's Me, Jen, with the legal file. Thank you guys. You guys are so sweet. And the Real Me Too gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget to tell It's the Real Me Too thank you. And whoever received or is the recipient of that membership, welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straitjacket and your padded room. Welcome aboard, Patty Lee. Oh, thank you for the super sticker. God bless you. Amy says, love you, Betty and Delilah. I love Delilah. Delilah is so precious. I love her to death. Where is Sebastian Rogers? Where is L.E.? Where is TBI? Hello to the Coffee Club and sweet Delilah. Thank you, Andrea. Exactly. Oh, that reminds me. We've got to get to the poll. We'll get to the poll before we go over here. Peggy, thank you so much for the super chat. Who's your mama? God bless you for the super sticker. The Real Me Too. Help BHB protect truth and freedom. God bless you. God bless you. We have Brenda. 3D printer takes away jobs from human persons. I agree with that. That's what I said with every bit of technology, especially these types. It's taking away jobs. Yep. I even saw robots out in the field picking farms, picking the crops of the farms. I'm like, oh, is it? That's taking jobs away too. Thank you, Amy N, for the legal fun. We got Teresa with the super sticker. Our beautiful blue eyes is up in the house. Say, keep being you. Continue to shake the haters off. You will be the one that comes out on top. You also have awesome mods. Our mods are amazing. Amy gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership, please don't forget to tell Amy M thank you. And whoever received that Bullhorn Betty membership, welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straitjacket and your padded room. Welcome aboard. Beautiful Amy also said, thank you for informing us, Betty. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you guys do appreciate that. And our friend from across the pond, Phil, thank you so much, love. I do appreciate all your love and support. Thank you guys so much this morning. Okay. So we've got a few things here. I've been doing some research. I've been trying to get a timeline together. I've got the timeline together. I don't think the timeline is, is it, we got a birthday coming up, Blue Eyes? You trying to sneak past this? Somebody's going to have to tell me what day her birthday day is. So I make sure that the day it's her birthday, I have my birthday hat and glasses on. Oh, thank you, Mama Marissa. God bless you. God bless you. So I've been doing some research, Grave Crime with Grace also gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership from Grave Crime with Grace, please don't forget to tell her. Thank you, and welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straitjacket and your padded room. Welcome aboard. Blue Eyes. You guys are going to start thinking I'm dyslexic. Oh, good gracious. Blue Eyes says, me and Amy will be 40 on the 16th. So we got the 16th. You guys are going to have to remind me. That's too far away. I will never remember. But if you guys remind me, I will make sure I have my birthday hat and glasses on and sing you a little tune. Dog Mama for life. Thank you so much. Love your work, courage, and personality. Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it. Without you, none of this would be possible. These cases wouldn't be possible. Doing the work that I do would not be possible without each and every person that is here. So we're going to go over to the vanished, the disappearance of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Where is he and what happened? That really is the crux of all the work that we do. Okay. It's because this child, he was 15 at the time, disappeared, according to his mother, between midnight and 6 a.m. He disappeared. He allegedly walked out of the house within less than a month. She believed somebody had him, but never pleaded to the world for the return of her son. That is going to be the biggest problem and the biggest hurdle that it's going to take me to overcome, is why she has never pleaded to the world to bring her son home. Not once. Not once. We're going to find him. We're going to keep searching for him. I think somebody might have him. We don't know what happened, but she never has ever pleaded for him to be returned. She's never pleaded to an abductor. She's never spoken directly to her son. These are problems for normal folk. Okay? We're normal folk. We're just the normal Joes. We don't have big name titles. We don't have posh lifestyles. We're just normal people. We put one leg on at a time, right? So this, to the normal person, is totally off behavior-wise. And for the most of us are normal. Now, some of us have a few nuts, rolling around, and that's okay. That's okay. We like our little nuts, right? But for the most of us, I think we all would agree that when a mother is missing their child and they're not frantic and they have no urgency, something is terribly wrong. Because moms of anybody, they have no control, right? Haven't we heard our whole entire life that women can't control their emotions, right? Every time I say something, they get their feeling. They're so emotional. So emotional. So let's go over some of the information about this case and delve into the mystery of Sebastian. So Sebastian was born December 7th, 2008. He's a white male, approximately 5'5", between 110 and 115 pounds when he disappeared. He had brown to dirty blonde hair and brown eyes. He was diagnosed with autism. We also know that he had, good gracious, I can't even think of the name now. What's the other thing that he had? The chromosome deletion syndrome. He had a chromosome deletion, a rare chromosome deletion syndrome, which it would impair his ability to return home safely, at least from what we were told at the beginning. I believe he was a hell of a lot more capable than his mom or his stepdad ever told us. If it wasn't for his father, Seth, we probably wouldn't know who Sebastian is, because his father didn't want people to think of his son as an infant inside of a teenager's body. He spoke up. He saw something. He said something. He let us know who his son was. And had he not done so, we would be totally off base with critical information specifically related to Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers if we left it to his mom and his stepdad to tell us. Thank God he has his father. Thank God he has his father. He lived with his mother, Katie Proudfoot, and her husband, Christopher Proudfoot, in the Stafford Court area of Hendersonville. Sebastian was known for his love of animals, especially cats, his gecko, and of course the snake, all of which have been taken away from him by Christopher Proudfoot. And he enjoyed video games, reading, and swimming. Again, most of that was also taken away from him by Chris Proudfoot. Now, we're going to go back in time a little bit. We have a lot of different times, but the times that are relevant to us for this case is starting from Thursday, February 22nd to where we are today. Now, we know that prior to February 22nd, there were 5 different CPS reports involved in this child since they moved into this house in 2021 or 2022. I think they moved in 2022. I can't remember. It was September 2022, because by October 2022, they were trying to rehome Sebastian. And it has been a downward spiral ever since, because they never had, at least to everybody that we know, they never had any type of CPS activity at the Remington property. Everything happened when they moved into the big, expensive house. So could that be because of financial stuff? We all know that finances is one of the biggest players in divorces across this country and in people's lives. Doesn't matter how much you love each other. If you can't even pay the light bill, you're going to have some marital problems. So it makes me wonder, what was the cause of these problems where Sebastian needed to be rehomed? And I'm going to call it rehomed because that's the way they treated him, like a flippin' dog that needed to be rehomed. And I'm not going to take my stance back on that. On February 22nd, 2024, we learned that was the last time Seth Rogers spoke to his son. So prior to February 22nd was his father's weekend with him. That weekend was, I believe, the 17th. Oops, I think I asked somebody to send me something. Okay, got it. So the weekend of the 17th was Seth's weekend. We also learned that Chris and Katie were married on February 14th on Valentine's Day, but it didn't appear that this last year that they spent any type of anniversary together or celebrated their anniversary at all. But either way, I digress. On February 22nd is the last time Seth had spoken to his son. So the weekend before, he had him, his son, he dropped his son off on that Sunday. His son went to school Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. He spoke to him on Thursday. And after Thursday, he didn't speak to him Friday, Saturday, or Sunday because it was his mother's weekend. And then by Monday, he was reported missing. So February 22nd is the last time Seth Rogers ever heard from his son again. On Saturday, February 23rd was the last day of the school week at school. So Sebastian went to school on February 23rd. We received reports from people he was going to school with that his behavior was off on the 23rd. We don't know what caused his behavior to be off, but his behavior was off. He wasn't the happy-go-lucky kid. He was more reserved, according to the information I received from some people that went to school with him. February 24th, 2024 was a Saturday, and his mother and him allegedly went to Costco's. Now, this is a wholesale type of food. If you know what Sam's Club is and BJ's is, Costco's is a similar design. It's a wholesale food. You buy food in bulk. you're supposed to be saving some type of money somehow by buying it in bulk. Okay. So they went there and there was a photo taken of them eating pizza. And I can't tell, I kept saying it was a big soda, but I went back to the photo and saw that it was either a coffee or chocolate milk, probably a chocolate milk or a chocolate shake. I'm not sure, but it was a big slice of pizza and a chocolate type of beverage, it appeared, sitting next to him. So on February 20, that's the only thing that we have for the 24th. So the last time he was seen by Seth was on the weekend of the 17th. He goes to school. His father speaks to him on Thursday, the 22nd. He goes to school for the last day of the week on the 23rd. He was reported as being at school all day that day on the 24th. Him and his mother get up. We know other things must have happened on Saturday, but the only definitive answer that we have, and it's because of a photo that she took on the 24th that was utilized on all of these missing person flyers, was the one of him in his optimism shirt, which was taken in the food court of Costco. So we don't know what all happened on Saturday. She's never really talked about anything that happened on Saturday. She only starts her day on Sunday morning. And on Sunday morning, they say they wake up. We don't know what time they wake up. We hear that they had a fun breakfast. He called his family, bragged. At some point, they decided they wanted to go to wholesale, BJ's wholesale. So Katie allegedly went and picked up the cousin and met the two aunts at BJ's, and they left there around noon. That's as much information as we've learned about that. Left around noon. So they went to BJ's. She said he got a colossal popcorn, which is a little far-fetched to me. If he just had this huge breakfast, why would he need a colossal popcorn? But when you look at the map, it's a large popcorn and a colossal cookie. So I don't know what he truly got. Did he get a colossal cookie or did he get a large popcorn? Because she's taking names from both of them and running them together. So I personally don't know. But we do know that they were at BJ's and they left BJ's. They came back home and put his snacks away. They were there for several hours, and then they leave to go to Strikes and Spare bowling alley. We have been later told that there were tournaments going on, and the waiting line to get it a lane was too long, so Katie and Sebastian went over and played video games. After they left Strike and Spare, they went directly over to the Texas Roadhouse, which they got there before 6 p.m. By 6:22, they were walking out the door. By 6:25, they were pulling out of the parking lot of the Texas Roadhouse and allegedly got home about 15 minutes later, which would have been right about 6:37 to 6:40 something at night. 15 minutes later, allegedly, Sebastian is allegedly seen on camera taking the trash out right before 7. A couple hours later, his mom tells him to go to bed. He says, "No problem, Mom, going to bed." And Chris and Katie get on the phone at around 9:43 to 9:46. Chris tells the world that whatever they're talking about is nowhere that Sebastian could overhear them. So that kind of eliminates the idea that she was sitting in the living room right outside of his bedroom door when these conversations were having, because Chris is saying that she wasn't around she wasn't around Sebastian or near Sebastian for him to eavesdrop or overhear their conversation. But she's trying to explain that she's on a couch talking to her husband, reading a book, falling asleep, all the while of hearing a thud coming out of his room when she's not even near him for him to hear the conversation, but somehow she hears something going on in his room. So there's a lot of ambiguity when it comes to this time frame between 10 and 11 p.m. at night of what really is transpiring inside of that home. On one hand, we've been told for an entire year that Katie went to bed right at midnight. She was asleep by midnight. She went to bed at midnight, was asleep by midnight. That was pounded in our head for an entire year until the Dateline article came out, and she's trying to shave off an hour and say she went to bed at 11. At 11. I've literally got 5 or 6 interviews where she's saying she didn't go to bed until midnight, but all these newer interviews she's pushing that to 11 instead of midnight, which is what she's told everybody for an entire year. She also stated that at 6 a.m. she woke up to discover Sebastian not in his room, not in his bed, and nowhere around the house. She allegedly begins to search. We don't see evidence of that. What we do see evidence of is her taking off out of her driveway and immediately going up toward the school. We know that right before the 911, I don't even want to say 911, the non-emergency dispatch line was called at 6:33 in the morning. She was actually in her own neighborhood off of Kellen at the time that call came in, not by the school where she professes she was. She also proclaims in one case she called Chris at 6:01, another case 6:02, another case 6:03, another case within a few minutes. So we don't know what time that morning she called Christopher Proudfoot. But one thing that we did learn about Christopher Proudfoot is he was not in his crane and he was not on the construction site at 6 a.m. when this call came in. He didn't actually show up to the job until between 6:30 and 6:45 that morning, when he's literally getting out of his truck walking to the job site. So he was not there at 6:03 to take that call in the top of the crane. We have proved that over and over again. I don't need law enforcement to corroborate my findings when I've got enough people there on the ground that have corroborated those findings. An endangered child alert was issued on February 26, 2024 by the Tennessee Department of Investigation, or TBI. Extensive search efforts were done by drone, helicopter, canine units, ground search teams covering thousands of miles. Authorities even played Sebastian's favorite song, Eye of the Tiger, in hopes of drawing him out. Despite these efforts, no significant leads were found. Yet his mother and stepfather professed he walked out of the house. Not only did he walk out of his house, he walked out of his house barefoot and with no jacket in a very cold, cold night. Doesn't make sense. Investigators explored various avenues, including searching a Kentucky landfill where the local trash was taken, but found no evidence. I don't believe that's what they said. I believe they said didn't find any evidence to lead to Sebastian's whereabouts or the specific words used. And we have to understand law enforcement uses specific words for a reason. So I do believe that something came out of this landfill. What came out of this landfill, I have no clue. But I do believe they did get something that needed to go through processing from that landfill. Surveillance video showed a figure walking the neighborhood around 12:17 a.m. on February 26, but authorities later stated there was no relevance to that case. The FBI offered up to $50,000 reward on the 6-month anniversary. We were standing out protesting in front of the Sumner County Courthouse when the FBI stood up and got $50,000 reward. Very thankful and appreciative of that. Sebastian's disappearance deeply affected his community, deeply affects the true crime community, and is deeply affecting his father. His mother, Katie, expresses her unwavering hope and love for her son, but fails to do anything about it. And as a matter of fact, her and her husband have hired and put a group of felons together to actually thwart any search efforts from anybody but them, the people that were last seen with this child alive. I don't trust those. Okay, I trust my own work. And right now we have a complicit sheriff's department making sure that people can't move freely in their country like they own us, like they are the CCP. So communist Sumner County is literally thwarting private search efforts for a missing child, while arresting the people out there searching to intimidate other people from searching. Let's call it what it is, Sumner County Sheriff's Department, Mr. Snuggle Struggle. Let's call it exactly what it is. You think you can intimidate people in this country. How's it worked out for you guys so far? His father, Seth Rogers, God bless it, this stupid mouse. I'm really getting pissed with it. His father, Seth Rogers, also remains the only person active in the search efforts, coordinating volunteer efforts, and working with private investigators. The only parent. Mind you, the other parents are military trained. The mom is an MMA fighter, but can't seem to coordinate one search without a bunch of felons or substances out there in the woods going up their nostrils. As of April 2025, Sebastian Rogers remains missing. The case is still active, with law enforcement continuing to investigate all leads, and I call that
Bullshit alert.
because Sumner County has not done shit. And if you believe they have, by all means, produce the receipts. I worked very hard to try to find those receipts that I can't find. They're sitting on their ass. They haven't done any other independent searches. They should have plenty of data. They effed up this case royally. They know it. I know it. And they can't shut it up. They're trying. They're trying. But I guarantee you, if I go to jail, I'll still be screaming out there that Sumner County Sheriff's Department, Eric Craddock and his team, screwed this case up royally, and they're trying to hide the information. Meanwhile, being the authoritarian arm of Chris and Katie Proudfoot to intimidate anybody out there searching for their kid. Did you forget that there's another parent? His name's Seth Rogers, and he actually cares about his son and actually wants to find his son? I feel so sorry for Seth that this happened in Sumner County, where a sheriff thinks that rape is such a strong word. He prefers snuggle struggle. That makes me sick as a rape victim myself. So the community has gone through hell. The true crime community has gone through hell. Seth Rogers has gone through hell. And the only reason why mom and stepdad have gone through hell is because, in my opinion, they created this entire mess to begin with. They would have just kept their hands off Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. We probably wouldn't be here right now. But they were too busy abusing that child into normalcy than they were taking care of him. Speculations and online theories. I have to say, for the majority of us, we're spot on. And I'm sick and tired of law enforcement saying that we're not allowed to have an opinion or we go to jail in America. Well, I'm a Florida resident, not a Tennessee resident. And I'm going to tell Sumner County, just like I told my attorneys, I will go anywhere I damn well please. You're more than welcome to arrest me, but there's consequences to every action. But we need to find this child. And since Sumner County wants to be benched, then it's time to bench him. And it's time for us to stand up and get out there and start searching for this boy, because he doesn't have help with the Sumner County Sheriff's Department. They've had opportunities, right? They could have searched this for this child. They could have done everything right at the very beginning. Probably would have had more productive efforts in locating Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. But now there's too much time, and we believe he's underground. Literally. Literally. So people are screaming for the poll. Let me get over here. Let's do the poll. Let's do the poll. All right. Let's see where we're at with the poll. Ooh. It's a pretty interesting poll. It's a pretty interesting poll. Let me pause this over here. It's a pretty interesting poll. It says we had about 500 votes. Out of those 500 votes, the question was, I misspelled. Why is there no law enforcement presence in the Sebastian Rogers case? And my questions were, the arrests are coming soon. Mr. Snuggled Struggle doesn't care. The case is cold, or they are just too damn lazy. And our audience is between three major. The case is cold, Mr. Struggle Snuggles doesn't care, and the arrests are coming soon. I believe maybe I don't know. I've been hearing the arrests are coming soon for 6 months. So I don't believe Sumner County. I don't believe Sumner County. And I'm sick of, every time you go into a county or something bad happens, we have our politicians standing up in front of the microphone saying, this is the team I would want working on my child's case. Well, I can promise you, Sumner County is the furthest team I want working on any missing person's case, let alone my missing dog's case. Okay? So I appreciate their politicians and I appreciate the voters, even though I think the voters need to learn to vote better. I would kick Ron Blanton off the bench and I would fire Eric Craddock. Personally speaking, there is something wrong with their leadership in Sumner County. This is a solvable case that they're sitting on their hands doing squat because they don't know how to how to even get a forensic testing of this boy's room. They forgot how to do police work in Sumner County. So hopefully that changes. I'm not very optimistic. I was optimistic when Seth wanted nothing more than to work with him. Nothing more than to work with them. But one thing I can't stand is people blowing smoke. And how do I know that they're blowing smoke? I believe they're blowing smoke because we're here almost 15 months later and not one independent search from these idiots. Do I believe all law enforcement in Sumner County is bad? No. But I sure think they have bad policies and procedures and do not follow the law. And do not follow the law. I will never stop fighting for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, and I will never stop condemning Sumner County for their horrible work on the case. Until that child's brought home, I don't believe shit they say, and I'm not going to start today. I've learned everything about this case because of my shoe leather work, not because of theirs. The world knows more about this case, not because of law enforcement, because they could care less about this child, their community, or what Seth is going through. This is a national and public interest case, and they are no different than the Proudfoots running away like cowards, not the markers that I'd like to see for our law enforcement. Far from the markers I'd like to see for our law enforcement. I like responsible law enforcement, people that show other people respect. You know why Sumner County doesn't get respect and has all these protests because of their corruption? It's because they think they work outside of the actual constitution of their state. Out of all of the counties, they're the ones that have literally the most problems outside of Nashville. They are a disgrace. They are a disgrace. All right, guys, that is my commentary today for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. We have no official suspects. They state the family is cooperating, although mommy and stepdaddy Dearest have lawyered up and stopped cooperating. That's not what they're telling the public because they like lying and deceiving the public while sitting on their hands doing absolutely nothing. I believe in low-hanging fruit. They abused this child and now this child is gone and they can't even arrest the parents for abuse. Put it to the court. See what the courts say. What does it hurt? Shake their tree, right? They can do it to Bullhorn Betty, but they can't do it to these sickos? Just saying. We did the poll. It was about a third, and it's cold. Rest coming soon, and because Mr. Struggle Snuggles doesn't care. So it was about a third between those three. And the lowest one on the poll was they are lazy. Well, at least Sumner County. I mean, we should give you applause for that. Y'all being lazy is the lowest on the totem pole. That should be that should be an accomplishment, right? Nobody, 8% of the Bullhorn Betty channel thinks they're just lazy. Yeah, that they were just lazy. But that means 92% means that you're just bad at your job. Just bad at your job. All right, guys, rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe, but more importantly, kind to one another. We are going to, while they're doing this shit to me, we're going to keep pushing it right back because they have more dirt in their closet than I ever will. God bless. From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you. God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims.